exciting 2 hours here, Bobby, coming direct out of the Joe Louis Arena, Detroit.
One of the biggest facilities for professional wrestling in the world today.
Well, it was jam-packed, SRO signs out everywhere, standing room only. Whenever the World Wrestling Federation invades anywhere, it's sellout time. You can go to the bank with that.
You can bet on that.
We have some tremendous matches lined up. Hercules Hernandez taking on Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Powerhouse match.
Boy, I don't know how to pick a winner there. I'll have to go with Atlas, though.
You have to go with Atlas.
No, not Atlas. I mean Hercules.
You picked Atlas now. Let's stay with that.
Their names are kind of similar.
And, of course, our feature match, the big tag team confrontation, the former champions, Nikolai Volkov, the Iron Sheik, taking on a tremendous team in the Killer Bees. Why are you laughing when I say Killer Bees?
Killer Fleas.
I didn't say Killer Fleas. I said Killer Bees.
It's close enough. Whatever.
What's humorous
well,
about
okay, first of all, they're our tag team champions. They were tag team champions, Volkov and Sheik. They're
Right.
experienced veteran athletes. The Bees. I rest my case.
Beg to differ with you, Bobby. Jumping Jim Brunzell and beat Brian Blair, two of the most outstanding individuals that come along the road here in the World Wrestling Federation in quite some time. And incidentally, a friend of yours, a man who doesn't show me a whole lot of class, joining us this week, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Wherever Jake the Snake is, you can bet Damien will be.
Damien won't be far behind, always looking for something to eat. Plenty of action from the Joe Louis Arena. We're going to go there right now as George the Animal Steel takes on the Anvil, Jim Neidhart. Let's go to ringside.
Introducing, first of all, from Reno, Nevada, at a weight of 280 pounds, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. His opponent from Detroit, Michigan.
Somebody who is unpredictable. There he is.
Of course, the work done with George the Animal by Captain Lou Albano, well documented. And 20,000 plus fans here at Joe Louis Arena, George the Animal Steel's hometown, roaring their approval. You have got to know the Animal is ready for this one.
It should be quite an interesting match because let me say that, and I'm not trying to demean the Anvil or George the Animal Steel, but you've got two bruisers in that ring right now that are not playing with a full deck.
It's going to be a war, as grueling as they come, but I think you're right. I don't know that we will see a great deal of scientific wrestling holds in this one.
Although Jim the Anvil Neidhart is very capable of using all his skills and his power as well. But with the Animal, there's really no defense.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. In football, we say it so many times, often the best defense is a good offense, and we've got the bell. We'll see what Jim the Anvil does.
Well, he's out right now.
Not exactly what you call taking a strong offense.
The Anvil bailing out.
Although the look in the eyes of George the Animal Steel, as we can see it here at ringside, Jack, I can't say that I necessarily blame the Anvil. I don't know that I would want to tangle with the Animal in the frame of mind he seems to be in.
As soon as the Anvil came racing out of the dressing room, he was immediately ready for action. Right now, Jim the Anvil Neidhart very cautious. Look at the Animal going through his butterfly type routine. There he goes.
This time, Animal goes right out after him.
Right for a clothesline right there. As the Animal trying to make his way back in. Look, he's hooked up.
He's got him caught in the ring ropes. The Anvil pushes the referee out of the way.
The Anvil going to work right now.
Outside the ring, the boots to the midsection of the Animal, ignoring the warnings of the referee.
Oh, he's hooked up pretty good there.
He really is. Referee trying to do his best to free him. The Anvil now coming in from the other side. The boot right across the throat and using the ropes for added leverage.
Right now, George the Animal Steel is helpless as the Anvil getting in a couple of boots right there. Referee trying to unhook the ankle. Well, both ankles, in fact.
Well, Jim Neihart seeing a very advantageous position and certainly goes right toward. Now it looks like he's biting the ankle of the Animal. Right through the boots.
The Anvil loving it right now. Again, applying the pressure to that top ring rope, but the Animal is free. And he's back in the ring right now.
Question is how much damage was done.
George the Animal Steel pointing that finger right now at Jim the Anvil Neidhart. There goes the hand again.
Jim Neihart backing up, not knowing what to make of the Animal. Went for the opening. Again, the boot to the midsection, but here comes the Animal right back with haymakers of his own, Jack.
Now it's the Animal taking control. Look at him fighting away. The fans love it. And the Anvil right now complaining. The Animal coming right back. Side headlock. Into the turnbuckle. Oh, that stung.
Right in the midsection. And talk about a move that'll break up your normal breathing pattern. Neihart again using the ropes, added leverage, getting that boot as deep into the throat of the Animal Steel as he can.
You know, I've seen Jim the Anvil Neidhart in action many, many times, Ken. But for some reason tonight, he's being very, very cautious with George the Animal Steel.
Well, you mentioned it, Jack. I think now where's he going? Throws a girl right off a chair at ringside.
Now this is uncalled for. This is uncalled for. He doesn't feature. Look at that, referee. Down. Now, the Animal hooking the leg. A takedown. 2, 3. Got it! How about that?
And look at the Animal now. Prime example. You called it actions of an Anvil uncalled for, but it certainly backfired on him.
It certainly did. He had no business going after the chair. His hand raised in victory. Neidhart not through yet. He caught him with the elbow, knocked him out. The Anvil going after the Animal. George the Animal Steel back in the ring and fighting him in. Look at him pushing referee Bonello out of the way. The Anvil now making way to the exit. He knows better.
Wanting no part of the Animal. I think he may have made a tactical error, Jack. He was very, very cautious, unusually so, but perhaps you called it. Let's face it, the Animal Steel, as popular as he is, I don't know that his elevator goes all the way to the top. Not knowing what he may be getting in for, perhaps a bit too cautious in this one, and it certainly dearly cost him a big win for the Animal.
His hand raised in victory and the crowd approving. Hometown favorite, George the Animal Steel.
There you see the Animal making his way to the dressing room. We'll show you again just exactly what happened. There's the Anvil going for the chair. The referee threw it. He was concentrating on the chair. The referee, Animal, caught him with a shot across the sternum area, hooked the leg, the weight across the shoulders, and it was all over before the Anvil even knew it hit him, Jack.
Well, George the Animal Steel up to his old tricks, and what a better place to do it than in his hometown, jam-packed Joe Louis Arena. I just want to get the edification of the fans up to date as to some of the familiar voices that they're hearing coming out of the Joe Louis Arena. Of course, Jack Reynolds, my dear old friend, and Ken Resnick.
Ken Resnick, that's right. You know, since I've been talking to you for the last couple minutes out here, I feel like the guest host should be Marlon Perkins.
Why is that?
We've talked about the Animal. We've talked about bees. We've talked about snakes. I'm sitting here with a gorilla.
Are you going to be funny this week?
No, because you're going to start calling me Weasel. I just thought I'd get it in before you did.
See, now I never mentioned the word weasel.
were going
You're
to,
the one
though.
that brought it out.
But you were going to, though.
You can bet, wrestling fans, that there's going to be plenty of exciting matches that will develop in the World Wrestling Federation at all times, and especially when we come out of a place like the Joe Louis Arena with 22,000 plus on hand. We're back, wrestling fans. Bobby, why don't you enlighten the fans a little bit? Why would the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, of late enter his men into single competition as opposed to tag team action?
Well, since the British Bulldogs have become the heavyweight tag team champions of the world, every tag team in the world is trying to get a tag team match. And maybe Jimmy Hart realizes if he can get one of his men in a single match and maybe knock off a top challenger, maybe knock off somebody here. You understand?
Got it. Right now, we're going to go to that special match. The Hitman, Bret Hart, takes on Stevie Offey. Let's go to ringside.
Weighing 240 pounds, from Samoa, Stevie Offey. His opponent, weighing 235 pounds, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Bret the Hitman Hart. The referee is Al Bulldog Thomas. One fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Jack, a little bit unusual. Bret Hart, one normally used to working tag team matches, finds himself in a single match. And absent, very apparently at ringside, we do not see the Mouth of the South.
Jimmy Hart. Quite a contrast in styles, too. Bret Hart hailing from Canada Way, and Afasibi hailing from the island of Samoa. But you've got a lot of speed, a lot of strength, a lot of agility in that ring. There's the bell, and this match officially underway. Should be a good one.
A little unusual. Bret Hart very willing to have the referee check both the elbow pads and the knee pads. Bret Hart, you could see perhaps missing his manager at ringside, talking to one of the ring attendants very intently.
All right, the match officially underway right now. The young Samoan a bit cautious as the Hitman moves to a neutral corner.
I think very alertly so, as you well know, Jack. The Hitman capable of doing anything inside or outside the ring.
Right now, the young Samoan in charge, taking control of this bout. Already Bret Hart complaining to the referee about some of the tactics. The referee speaking with Stevie Offey right now.
Here at ringside, Jack, a rather invisible hair pull. Bret Hart perhaps trying to gain the sympathy of the referee, although I doubt that will be the case.
Once again, the Samoan pulling Bret Hart, and he's out. He's out of the ring right now and complaining bitterly.
Jack, I think it's a psychological game the Hitman is playing. It was very obvious to you and I at ringside, and certainly this great crowd here at Joe Louis Arena. There was no hair pull at all. I think trying to psychologically upset the young Samoan early on in the match.
As you well know, Bret Hart comes from a tremendous wrestling family. His father being the very famous Canadian wrestler of years gone by, Stu Hart.
Stu now, of course, a very popular promoter out in the Calgary, Alberta area.
Side headlock being applied right now by Bret Hart. Nice shoulder block by Bret Hart. Samoan down. Hart coming off. Look at that. Oh, and a beautiful leg takedown.
Great drop toe hold on the part of the Samoan. A bit of a leapfrog drop toe hold. That again, Jack, we talked about the quickness of the Samoan.
Front face lock being applied right now.
Fine reversal by Bret Hart going into the hammerlock.
Double knee into the back area. That'll take its toll.
Samoan quickly and correctly works his way to his feet. Going for a Beal throw, but
Look at that reverse. Beautiful reverse in there. Look at that. Sunset flip. Try for a pin. 2 and a kick out.
very, very close. And the hitman outside the rope, seeking the sanctuary of ringside. I think that move, the quickness, even caught the hitman by surprise.
I'll tell you, one of the things, one of the attributes, one of the great things that Bret Hart has going for him is the fact that not only is he strong, but he possesses great speed for a big man in that ring.
He does. We saw, you don't see it too often, we saw some of the amateur background earlier in the match. An excellent reversal by Bret the Hitman Hart. And sometimes, Jack, I think we and the fans are a little guilty of not giving the Hitman quite enough credit. He does have a great amateur background, and when need be, he is as good a ring tactician as you'll find. But as you well know, most cases he would rather work outside the rule book.
All right, both men back in the ring again. Side headlock being applied by the young Samoan right now. What a tremendous throng in attendance here at the fabulous Joe Louis Arena.
And next door at Cobo Hall.
A lot of action in that ring. Look at that. Hart was trying to go with a body slam, but the young Samoan very quick in that ring. Leg scissors being applied right now, and a kick out by Bret Hart.
It looked like he was trying to go once again for the sunset flip coming off the ropes. He came very close earlier on to getting a near fall, but Bret Hart was able to hold on to the ropes for just an instant to throw the timing of the Samoan off. Now, Jack, it looked like the Hitman is heading for the dressing room, but
he's taking a breather right now. This is something that he and his tag team partner, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, do very well. As you well know, there are no timeouts in professional wrestling. But there are times when the Anvil, Jim Neidhart, will be seeing action on our card a bit later on, and the Hitman, Bret Hart, will take some time out.
Bret the Hitman Hart a little bit reluctant about stepping back inside the squared circle with a man who he's not having a great deal of success with, CV Afi. Bobby, the Hitman looks out of sync to me.
What's wrong? What do you mean he looks out of sync?
Well, it looks like he's lost without the mouth of the South being out there at ringside.
I think he's used to Neidhart.
You think he's used to Neidhart?
But he'll prevail.
Maybe he can. Let's go back down to ringside at the Joe Louis Arena.
Knee to the midsection. An elbow to the back of the neck. Hard right hand to the side of the head. And right now the Samoan is reeling. Oh, into the turnbuckle. Take over by Hart. Hart going up on top right now. Oh, and he drops both knees to the top of the head. Drops the leg. Try for a press. 1, 2, and a kick out.
now there, Jack, I think if Bret Hart had laid across the Samoan, hooked the leg, as you would think, I think he would have picked up the pinfall, but perhaps his ego got in the way a little bit, trying to play to this great crowd at Joe Louis Arena. And I think the match had been over if he would have done it by the textbook.
Bret Hart right now taking control of this bout.
Now here, Jack, with that reverse chin lock, at the same time, Bret Hart laying his weight back across the shoulders of the Samoan, really doing double damage, and that he is able to rest, regroup, gain his breathing. The Samoan has got to work to his feet as well as absorbing all the weight. Now you see he's trying to turn it around, get to his feet. That's the way to break that hold.
Little test of strength going on right now. There's an elbow into the midsection. That stung. Oh, beautiful shoulder block in there by the Samoan. And he caught him good with the clothesline. But Siva Afi coming off the ring rope. Look at that. Drops the elbow. 1, 2. Looked like did he pull him up or did he kick out?
I think he used the hair to pull him out. Now he tosses him outside the ring, and there's no doubt about it. Afi in serious trouble now. The crowd, as you can hear, voicing its displeasure at the tactics of Bret the Hitman Hart. Of course, as you well know, we've mentioned it, one half of the Hart Foundation.
Well, Hart had a chance to put him away. He had him in the submission hold. He had a press and decided he wanted to punish the young Samoan a bit more. Look at this.
What a move.
Sunset flip. 1, 2, and a kick out.
There, Jackie, the Samoan did not have quite the full position. He was not able to get his legs hooked over Bret Hart's arms. If he'd been able to do that, I think the Samoan would have had a very surprising pinfall in very quick fashion, but Hart was able to extend himself just enough to avoid that fall.
Into the turnbuckle. Twice, 3 times.
Now look at the Samoan, of course, known for their very hard heads. As if to say to Bret the Hitman Hart, you can do that all night long. It will have no effect, and he comes back like a house of fire.
Whip into the turnbuckle. Nobody home.
There you see Bret Hart showing the crowd his superior intelligence, according to him.
Up on top right now. Big body slam by Bret Hart. Hart coming off the ring ropes. Nobody home. The Samoan right now trying to regain some of his strength. Trying to come back. Grabs the legs.
Samoan asking the crowd. They say yes. Referee says no.
Look at that.
Crowd wins out.
A headbutt into the lower abdomen. Oh, he caught him good. He caught Hart coming off the ring ropes with a double fist, another headbutt. A 2 count and a kick out.
Tell you, what a way to start the night here at Joe Louis Arena, Jack.
Big body slam, the Samoan going up, coming down. 1.
I'll tell you what, the Samoan came within a hairline of scoring a win over one half of the Hart Foundation. This one has been very even, a seesaw battle.
And taking its toll physically as well. Beautiful suplex in there by the Samoan. Caught him good with the elbow coming off the ring ropes. Look at that. Flip and a press and a kick out.
He went for the haymaker and missed. Atomic drop.
Shoulder block. All the weapons coming out right now. Look at this. Oh, backdrop. That's going to do it.
Wow. Bret Hart used a little gray matter, Bobby.
Pardon?
The Hitman used a little gray matter.
He used some ability. He used his head. He outsmarted a man with no brains.
That's what gray matter
I know, but we have
means,
to keep it simple for these people, Mansoor.
These people are very well educated. I want you to know that. Primetime has really got some tremendous fans out there, and I want you to be aware of that and not to try to degrade them in any way. That's not your job here.
I'm not. They do it to themselves.
Let me ask you this, okay? Where is the team? We have not seen of late on Primetime Wrestling the tremendous team that you claim cannot be slammed, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. Where are they? Are they in hibernation?
No, they're not in hibernation. When the people are ready to see them, when you're ready to see them, when everybody's ready to see them, I will show you them. Until then, wait.
Oh. The brain says to wait. Well, we don't have to wait too much longer because right now we're going to go to Mean Gene Okerlund with a special interview with Jake the Snake.
All right, Gorilla Monsoon, I don't think you're going to believe this. My special guest at this time is the latest arrival of the World Wrestling Federation. He is Jake the Snake Roberts from Stone Mountain, Georgia. And has he ever made his presence known? I'd prefer you...
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Do it. See, everybody has to like certain things in life, and it just so happens that I like these. Why? Because I trust this for some odd reason. I don't know why, because when you look
That's
into
real
its
strange
eyes,
as I think on it.
It is very strange, isn't it? But the strangest thing to me at this point in time is that Scott McGee, the fine athlete that he is, and very, very strong man, very strong man, would have enough guts to step into the ring with someone like me that would walk around with snakes in their pockets or in the
put
bags.
that thing away.
I'll put it away when I want to. Would you like to hold it?
No!
I didn't think you would. You see, these little fellas have a mind of their own. Just like me, we have a mind of our own, don't we? Scott McGee, although you will fight to stay alive, your body will start to shiver because you or no one else can handle what the snake and DDD can deliver. Now deal with that, Gino.
I
You're
just
gonna be very good to me, aren't you?
Yes,
I can
I'm with
tell.
you, pal. Whatever you say.
A solid supporter, you might say.
Yes, very solid supporter.
Yeah.
Jake, do you ever get the feeling that you might be a little different than the rest of the crowd? Everybody's heading north and you're going south?
I'm a winner, Gene. I hope that's what you meant.
Well, I think you
It
travel to the beat
is.
of your own drum.
Oh, yeah. I play my own game because I can afford to do it. Scott McGee, you cannot afford to make the mistake that you have made by signing this match. So good luck, my man. And don't worry, you will see this again. Up close.
A very interesting piece of footage coming up, Bobby the Brain. I'm sure that you're familiar with all the unsuccessful attempts by Don Morocco and Mr. Fuji to make their stardom roles in anything, including the things they did such as Fuji Bandito, Fuji Chan. How many other things did they do that were just a
Fuji
complete,
General.
Yeah, complete disaster.
I've got them all in my film library. They're my favorite show.
But I understand that they were approached to do a special pilot
for detective
on a very,
series.
yes, serious. Let's take a look at that
Yes.
piece right now.
Next time I'll call.
Nobody's.
Here, I'll stay up front. George.
Okay.
Oh, good shot.
You guys, there's a body over here!
What?
Look!
Oh my God.
This dude must have been keeping some pretty fast company. Look at this. That bracelet must have been a gift from the Seahawk. All the victims get one. This is definitely drug-related. Must mean a shipment's coming down pretty soon. Probably coke. Probably a big one. Easy, lady. What is it?
It's my brother, Juan. I haven't seen him for years. I can't believe he'd get mixed up in something like this. Drugs.
Don't worry, Miss,
Angelica.
Angelica. Here come two of our vice cops now.
What do we got here, Lieutenant?
That dude didn't die of Sancho, that's for sure.
Our man here was wasted because of a big coke deal coming down. Street Hawk must be moving his stuff on the streets pretty soon. Our friend here must have gotten in the way somehow.
Juan, my poor Juan.
How does she fit in all of this?
She claims she's this guy's sister, Angelica. Says she hasn't seen him for years. I don't see the family resemblance myself.
What are you saying?
Look, the Seahawk wasted this guy pretty good. But even in mint condition, I wouldn't fit you two for a match set.
We'll take it from here, Lieutenant. The Seahawk's about to lose his wings. Don't worry, we'll get him.
Or her.
This doesn't look like woman's work to me. This guy was taken out
Look,
by...
don't rule down anybody. Maybe we haven't caught the Seahawk for a while because we've been on the wrong scent. Look, check in with me, boys.
Later, Lieutenant.
Angelica. Lieutenant was way out of line here. My partner and I are going to get the guy who offed your brother. Don't worry about a thing. You're in good hands now. Come on, we'll get you home.
You throw a drink for a poor working girl and you've got yourself a deal.
So you see, Angelica, I believe everything you told us.
It's true. I don't know why your lieutenant is acting the way that he is, but I don't trust him. Juan must have gotten mixed up with the wrong crowd, but I think he was trying to go straight. I'm sure that he was on his way to the police when the Seahawk caught him.
The Seahawk bite off more than he could chew this time.
Well, what's your plan?
The Seahawk's going to be bringing some cocaine to town. He's going to want some buyers to take it off his hands. Well, you're looking at him, and we got $250,000 of the squad's money to play with.
The stakes are high.
You don't think that the lieutenant could be behind this, do you?
It's possible. I noticed he's been wearing some new threads lately.
And driving some new wheels?
He's cool, all right, but I'll keep an eye on him. We'll hit the pavement, set up a meeting with the Seahawk, and tell him we're interested in buying what he's selling.
Then we nail him.
Now how about we go back to my place?
After you get the lieutenant off the streets, I'm all yours.
Let's pound some turf, partner.
You're on. Morocco, you have any contacts to get back to the Seahawk?
Let's try our first informant, Matty the Mouth.
Oh, very good, very good.
You got a quarter?
Yeah, here.
I'll pay you back next week.
Yeah.
All right. Bingo! We're in the game. This $250,000 can buy a lot of happiness.
Too bad it belongs to the department.
Don't you be surprised if it gets lost in the scuffle during the arrest. It could very easily find its way into our pockets. I'm Morocco. This is Fuji. We're here to see the Seahawk.
Okay.
You two little boys lost?
We're here on business.
You don't look like businessmen.
Too bad. We had $250,000 to invest in the import business. But if you're not interested, we're in the wrong place.
Wait a minute. Why didn't you say you wanted some imports? We have a special today on a little nose candy. $250,000 can get you a snootful.
But we want to deal with the Seahawk personally.
Who is this dude?
Don't worry about him. He's okay. He's from out of town. I want to get him a little something to chase his blues away.
Let me see your business card. The Seahawk can't be too careful. Impressive credentials. I'm sure the Seahawk will be glad to see you. Wait here.
We're about to become rich heroes, partner.
Now you're talking.
Nice work, boys.
Angelica, I don't get it.
You will.
Where's the Seahawk?
You're looking at him. Or her.
I don't believe this, Angelica.
My plan worked perfectly. 2 cops personally deliver $250,000. Some present.
What are you gonna do to us?
The same thing that happened to Juan.
You killed your own brother?
Juan worked for me. Then he got smart and wanted to go into business for himself. Try to take away some of my best customers.
The Seahawk doesn't like competition.
I should have never hired a man. You can't trust them. Turk, tie him up. Nobody will try to stop us with 2 detectives tied to the front of the boat.
It is sucked in. Yours is hanging up. And look, you got enough rope to go around you.
Once again, federal authorities are successful in their attempt to stop the local cocaine trafficking. Lieutenant, can you make a comment, please?
Oh, what's going on here? Wait,
That's what you gotta get credit for this.
What, is this one of the largest rings? Just a moment. Can you? What's this behind? Can you make a comment here, Lieutenant?
We're the ones who knew about.
And who are you, gentlemen? Who are you?
Vice Detectives Morocco and Fuji. We're the ones who knew about the drug ring.
And are you expecting a reward?
Reward? Of course we don't. Two honest cops like us, we don't want any reward. We do it for our country.
And you knew all along that the Seahawk was behind this?
That's right.
Very good thinking. From A to Z, we had it.
Why are you applauding? I am not impressed.
I am very impressed.
Do you actually think that any programming on the air today is in jeopardy because of something like that? It should have been called Fuji Trash.
Fuji Trash? That has to go down with the same wonderful television things we've seen, like Cleopatra, Gone with the Wind. That was great as far as I'm concerned.
Bobby, give me
I could watch it again. Could you roll that again? I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Please, don't ever
How
roll
about the
that
line?
again. It might...
He's from out of town.
He's from out of
you
town.
notice the dramatics there? Raise your gun and drop your hands.
You actually thought that was good, didn't you?
I did. I enjoyed it.
You are a very sick person, Mr. Heenan, if you think that Morocco and Fuji have one fiber of talent in their body outside of the square circle.
You're just jealous.
We're back, wrestling fans, and Bobby, we're going to get back into what primetime wrestling is all about, and that is wrestling. Iron Mike Sharp, one of the premier wrestlers here in the World Wrestling Federation, taking on, I know, a dear friend of yours.
Carl Camouflage.
No,
Yes.
it's not Carl Camouflage. It's Corporal Kirshner,
Same
82nd
difference.
Airborne. Tremendous matchup coming to you direct from the Joe Louis Arena, jam-packed to the rafters, 22,000 plus. Let's go down there right
Let's go
now.
around the foxhole and watch this one.
Please.
Introducing from Hamilton, Ontario, weighing 265 pounds, Iron Mike Sharp. His opponent from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the pride of the 82nd Airborne, at 255 pounds, Corporal Kirshner. Your referee, John Vanello.
It's not very hard, Jack Reynolds, to decide who's the most popular in this one, as immediately upon the appearance of Corporal Kirshner out of the tunnel, American flags sprung up all over Joe Louis Arena.
Well, I'll tell you, Corporal Kirshner is not going to have an easy time with the likes of an Iron Mike Sharp. Mike, not only a big, strong man, but also possesses a lot of speed in the ring for a big man. And boy, I'll tell you, he has been there and some. He's got some moves that you'll see. Big victory for both men this match. There's the bell. And the match officially underway.
Corporal Kirshner extending the hand. Iron Mike Sharp wanting no part of it, refusing to shake hands.
Iron Mike Sharp already complaining to the tremendous throng in attendance here at the fabulous Joe Louis Arena.
The Corporal again extends the hand. Iron Mike Sharp screaming, no way, let's get on with the match.
This might be a little psych job on the part of Corporal Kirshner.
In some ways, perhaps Mike Sharp trying to embarrass the Corporal, leaving him standing in ringside with the hand extended. Wow, Corporal went for the collar to elbow hookup, and Mike Sharp went right for the wrist lock.
Standing wrist lock being applied, a reverse and a hammer lock by Corporal Kirshner.
Ducked right underneath. Corporal lifting him up by using that hammer lock, and that's going to do some damage to that elbow joint.
Sharp wants out.
Corporal pulls him right back into the ring.
Still applying the pressure.
Corporal kicks out.
Beautiful monkey flip. Arm drag in there. Another arm drag. And Mike Sharp, he wants out.
Again, Iron Mike Sharp bails out, seeking the sanctuary of ringside, wanting to get out of the squared circle. two big men in that ring.
Oh, yeah.
Again, Iron Mike Sharp having all kinds of problems with that one corner of ringside. Fans voicing their displeasure at him, and he taking a great deal of exception to it.
All right, Sharp making his way back into the ring right now. So far, Corporal Kirshner with the better of it. Reverse wrist lock and a reverse. Nice takeover and a kick.
With a series of
beautiful arm
counter
drag.
moves.
Another arm drag.
And again, Mike Sharp bails out. Mike Sharp, it seems, Jack Reynolds trying to find a friendly corner hit ringside at Joe Louis Arena, and I don't think there is one for him.
Well, both men are trying to mount the offense to this match, but so far it's been pretty even. All right, Mike Sharp once again back in the ring. Both men possessing all the good wrestling skills. Side headlock being applied right now by Corporal Kirshner.
Very good point, Jack, especially Iron Mike Sharp. Likes to go the roughhouse way, but he can go any way you want. He's got all the moves. Look at Corporal applying a tremendous headlock.
He is really moving it around. The big arms. Leg scissors and a kick out. Again with the side headlock. And again applying the pressure.
Jack, the side headlock, not really a submission hold, but as Corporal Kirshner continues to grind away on those temples, that headache and pounding in the head of Iron Mike Sharp is going to just intensify. And what he's hoping to do is once that pain becomes such, it'll begin to affect his thinking in the ring. And I think the Corporal is hoping that when that happens, Iron Mike Sharp will make a tactical error and the Corporal may gain a quick fall.
Both men maneuvering right now, vying for position. Corporal down, Sharp over. Hip toss. And a kick out. Kick. Another drop kick. And Sharp is out again. Uh-oh.
Right out on a table at ringside.
You can probably hear Iron Mike Sharp right now. He felt the effects of those two tremendous drop kicks by Corporal Kirshner.
Now, Jack, Iron Mike Sharp saying he's had enough. Heading for the dressing room.
Oh,
no. He's going all the way into the tunnel.
That's cause for
Well, although he's having a great deal of problems in the Joe Louis Arena, Iron Mike Sharp will undoubtedly have to return to the squared circle. He has got a tiger by the tail. We're back, wrestling fans. Bobby, what is Iron Mike waiting for? A special dispensation from the Pope or something to get into this match?
It looks to me like Iron Mike Sharp is setting up.
Setting up.
Carl Camouflage. He's going to sucker him in.
Highly unlikely. Let's go back down to the Joe Louis Arena right now.
immediate disqualification.
Referee, now he's coming back. He's coming back.
Those two tremendous drop kicks. And Mike Sharp feeling the effects. Those big boots.
Both men, Corporal Kirshner especially, with deceptively quick speed.
Kirshner right now. Oh, he went for another drop kick, nothing doing. And immediately, Corporal Kirshner grabbing at the back of the neck. He's grabbing at the back of the neck as he went down very, very hard.
He came down, instead of spreading his whole body weight out, neck in a croc position.
A hard open hand into the sternum area. And now it's Iron Mike Sharp with a whip. Look at that.
Big back body drop.
Now Iron Mike Sharp on top. Two and a kick up.
The momentum in this one has certainly shifted, Jack.
Oh,
now,
what
Mike
happened?
Sharp, instead, he had Corporal down when after verbal exchange with the referee, may have given the Corporal enough time to regain some sense of balance, but now he goes right back after him.
Sharp into the turnbuckle right now. Look at that, nothing doing. He reversed it. And it's Sharp into the turnbuckle. Now the Corporal coming back.
Corporal, the momentum looking for Sharp. Sharp ducking down. Jack went all the way up and over down to the floor.
The Corporal was going in there with full steam ahead. Mike Sharp able to move out of the way. And Corporal Kirshner went flying out of the ring.
Holding his stomach, and it looked like his shoulder joint as well. Mike Sharp very anxious to get back at the Corporal.
Corporal hurting right now. Iron Mike Sharp in the ring. Grabbing at the hair of Corporal Kirshner. Look at that, pounding away into the sternum area.
Laid him across the top rope, had all the leverage and just hammered. Tell you, a blow like that could easily crack a sternum bone. You and I both know how brittle that is to begin with. And certainly not designed to take that kind of a blow. Sharp going back outside the ring, trying to do as much damage as he can to the Corporal.
Sharp up on top right now. Taunting at the crowd. As part of the tremendous throng in attendance.
As is always the case wherever the World Wrestling Federation comes.
Again to the back of the neck. Working on that back of the neck. Look at that, missed. Flying body press, 1, 2. And Iron Mike able to kick out.
Sunset flip.
Iron Mike kicking out again.
Corporal Kirshner making the most of two golden opportunities. It was close, Jack Reynolds, but no cigar.
Both men would like to win this match right now.
It's been a grueling, grinding pace. You've got to figure both men beginning to feel the break of exhaustion.
Hard into the turnbuckle. Another whip.
Right into the breadbasket.
Oh, there's a tremendous shot. Iron Mike right now.
Legs across, uses that top rope as a slingshot, right across the throat. Right across the throat of Corporal Kirshner.
Iron Mike Sharp right now using all of his skills in the ring. Using the head to his advantage right now as he butts to the midsection, pounding away on Corporal Kirshner. Trying to put him away for good.
He caught him in the breadbasket, and that seems to be the strategy right now, Jack, trying to work on the midsection of the Corporal. But look at Kirshner.
He's going up on top. Carl hits it. Look at this. Big takeover. Now it's the Corporal's turn to come back. Look there. Small
package wraps him up again. Mike Sharp. Jack Reynolds just
I thought he had him.
4 or 5 times he's been able to kick out the last
I thought it was all over with that small package. Leapfrog. Look at this. He's got him up on top right now. He's got him up on top, Corporal Kirshner. Oh, and a reverse. And a try for a press. Hooks the leg. 2, 3.
He got him. Excellent, excellent move by the Corporal.
Corporal Kirshner.
You talk about sweet victories, boy, I'll tell you, that is a tremendous win for Corporal Kirshner over Big Iron Mike Sharp. Let's pick up the replay once again. He's got him up on top.
comes down with all his weight on top of him, alertly hooks the leg, bridges across, and there's a count of 3.
Wow, I never thought Corporal. What are you doing, Bobby? What
I just
are
want
you?
to make Corporal Camouflage here feel at home.
Oh, please. You actually think that that's
See?
humorous, don't you?
No, I'm just trying to make him feel at home. He couldn't even find me behind some cheap plant.
Boy, he certainly found Iron Mike Sharp, though. I didn't expect him to get a win of that nature.
I didn't either.
Using his patented backdrop on him.
No, I didn't either. Mike Sharp's a tough
You know what
customer.
he needs? He needs a good tag team partner, somebody that he can trust and somebody that he can depend on to go in and do a few numbers on a couple of guys I can think of,
You're right.
like King
Sharp
Kong, Bundy.
certainly does
Big
need
John.
a good partner.
No, I'm not talking about that at all.
You mean Kirshner needs a
That's
partner?
absolutely
Maybe
true.
he gets somebody from the Navy. A whack, a wave. Maybe he gets some Cub Scouts. Maybe they could go door to door.
Right
and
now,
sell
wrestling
cookies.
fans, we're going to go to a special interview. Mean Gene Okerlund, along with the former World Tag Team Champions.
Some strange things, Gorilla Monsoon, happening involving snakes. Johnny Valiant, I don't think that's your trip, is it, pal?
What's that, pal?
Snakes.
No, I'm not a snake man. But I'll tell you what. Listen, I'm talking to you. I'll tell you what. Speaking of snakes, there was 2 in the grass up there, pal, in Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, there's nothing. I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. A guy like Lou Albano, he's so low he could walk underneath a snake with a top hat. Now, let me tell you something, pal. I'm talking to you out there, bulldogs, pals. You 2 limeys, you. Sure, you got lucky. Sure, you won the match. But it's not over. It doesn't stop here. Someplace, sometime, on the dotted line, read the warranty, Pally. It says a return match is in order. And when that happens, those belts are coming back to the Dream Team.
All right, Brutus Beefcake, your thoughts?
Well, I can't exactly say what's on my mind right now.
You can. You can say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want.
We'll have to do this thing again. You know, we could be out working out or something, but we gotta be standing here talking about the British Bulldogs, which I think is a waste of time. But we'll do it anyway!
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
You know, no matter how many times Beefcake, Valiant, and myself have proven ourselves as the World Tag Team Champions, it's like the old song by Bob Seger, Against the Wind. It seems like we're just running against the wind. One more time, we have to prove ourselves again and again and again. But you understand, we are prepared to do it. The Beefer is prepared to do it. He's made a lot of people famous in the World Wrestling Federation by hurting them, and so have I. And the British Bulldogs, nobody even heard of them until we made them famous, and now we're going to take that fame away.
Well, you come up with a good point. I've heard that old expression, running against the wind. I think that's what it is, yes, right?
We're back, wrestling fans. Earlier on, Bobby Heenan, we heard the interview with Jake the Snake Roberts and Mean Gene Okerlund, and the Snake gave some credit to young Scotty McGee, and then with the same breath, he said that he's going to go out there and humiliate him.
Well, the Snake is probably the most confident athlete in professional wrestling today that I've ever seen. And I like the way he handles that snake. I like the way he does that DDT.
But you don't like the Snake.
No, you keep saying that. I'm not
Let's
afraid
go
of
down
the
to
snake.
Jake the Snake and Scotty McGee.
He's not here, is he?
One fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing, first of all, from Scotland, at a weight of 231 pounds, Scott McGee. His opponent from Stone Mountain, Georgia, at a weight of 268 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
This should be a very interesting confrontation between these 2 men. You've got size, strength, and speed in the likes of Jake the Snake Robert. And boy, you've got a young man that is really put together in Scott McGee.
And you've got a canvas bag at ringside that there's something inside moving.
Well, let's hope it stays there in that corner there, in Robert's corner. All right, there's the bell.
There's the bag, and you can see there's something in there.
Definitely.
That's definitely alive.
Already both men maneuvering right now. Oh, beautiful arm drag in there by Scott McGee. Roberts coming right back. A lot of speed. Good adjustment, though, for a big man. Jake the Snake Roberts, around 6 feet 7.5 inches tall. I'll tell you, for a big man, he moves very, very well in that ring.
Well, indeed, very, very quick. Look at the boots on Jake Roberts. It's snakeskin boots. Any idea that got to cost him the thousands of dollars?
Roberts right now, the aggressor.
There they are.
Big body slam by Jake the Snake Roberts. Stepping on the hand of Scott McGee. Roberts with a like a closed fist. Shoulder block.
Scott McGee going for sunset flip. Roberts held on. McGee came right back, caught him with a vicious body slam. The second one.
I'll tell you, Scott McGee, as I mentioned from the start of the bout, he is a strong young man. A lot of strength in that ring. Roberts right now just working out the kinks. Taking a little breather right now to break the momentum of this match.
There's a look at the man they call the Snake. Ted, we talked earlier, Jack Reynolds, about this psychological warfare of having that snake at ringside. There's another look at that bag. But even the two snake heads on the front of Jake the Snake Roberts' trunks, his opponent, knowing what might happen to him should he be defeated, is got to psych him out to some degree.
Bar by Scott McGee.
Now there
Roberts, what was that?
He tried to grab for the bag.
What's he going to do with the bag? Right
I don't
now,
think I want to know.
Yes. Right now, Scott McGee applying the pressure, working on that wrist of Jake the Snake Roberts. He's turned it into an armbar right now. Still applying the pressure on the wrist. Wildly swinging.
Oh, did McGee catch him with that one?
Nice forearm smash by Scott McGee.
Scott McGee now goes into the armbar. Tremendous pressure on the shoulder of Jake the Snake. Roberts comes up. McGee goes right to his feet, trying to keep the upper hand, the leverage. That's what he wanted to avoid. You see the height advantage very clearly that Jake Roberts has over McGee. From a purely leverage standpoint, strength being equal, Roberts would have a vast advantage, Jack.
Roberts lifting the knee to the midsection. That took its toll. Swinging wildly again. Look at that. Cross body block. Down goes Roberts. Boy, he came flying off the ring ropes that time.
I'll tell you, for his height, Jack, there is no lankiness, there is no gawkiness whatsoever in Jake Roberts. He's a very, very well-coordinated man and certainly uses his height to its fullest advantage.
He's very wiry. He's a very wiry individual. His coordination, just excellent for a big man. And as I mentioned, and I don't mean to sound redundant or repetitious, but he really possesses a lot of speed in that ring for a man his size.
We talked earlier about whether Roberts raises snakes or not. It almost, and again, he keeps eyeing that bag at ringside. Oh, did he catch him?
Big right hand by Jake the Snake, and I'll tell you,
he hurt his hand.
That stung.
Think what it did to Scott McGee. Jake Roberts
down right now.
But if you notice, there's that bag again. If you notice during the match, so many times, Roberts, when he's stomach breaker, I guess we can call that. Jack, he gets in that coiled up position when he's down on the mat, almost like a snake. You know he's just waiting a strike.
Right now, Jake the Snake is taking control of this bout. Reverse atomic drop being applied by Roberts. And I'll tell you, there are very few men that could get up from a damaging maneuver like that, but McGee right now is reeling.
McGee did not get up. Jake Roberts, Jake the Snake, just pulled him up. Referee now checking to make sure he doesn't slip that down into a chokehold.
It's been a very fast-moving match.
Now here it's very obvious. Roberts deliberately working his way to the corner. Now look at, he's going for that bag.
Referee interceding. Referee warning Roberts, keep it in there. He told him, keep it in there.
I don't know if it's perhaps, Jack, do you think it could be to allude almost a voodoo cult where he feels he gains his strength from some serpentine power?
Could very well be.
Right
whatever
there.
Whatever it is, it's there.
Right there, he gained a tremendous advantage from that boot to the midsection. Now just degrading, embarrassing his opponent. Just a series of nothing but head slaps.
Oh, he caught him. Huh? Little
Back goes
clothesline
McGee.
job. McGee reaching back for something extra that time.
Roberts, I think, dropped his guard just enough.
Grabbing at the hair and pulling his head down to the mat. Beautiful suplex. Here he comes. Oh, double knee to the sternum area. Referee with a 2 count, and Roberts able to break it. Roberts going over on top. Oh! Just like a neck breaker.
Neck breaker drove him right into the mat, and very quickly. That's that speed you talked about for a man of his size.
Boy, he moves so quickly on that. He's got McGee right now. There's a 3 count. That neck breaker, I'll tell you, was something to behold.
Now wait a minute. Oh, no.
Look out.
Oh no.
Look at this. He's going into the bag. He's going into the bag.
Oh no. Oh.
That's got to be a python.
Oh.
Or is it a boa?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Oh, how is this? This is incredible.
I'll tell you, Gene Taylor, the ring announcer, looking down at us to see if I have to go in the ring, and I don't blame him for staying out. Oh, now that python just wrapping around Scott McGee.
Referee warning Roberts, but to no avail to get that thing out of the ring.
Asking him,
Look at that.
Now look at
Roberts right on top of it.
If we could go wide, look at Roberts just going down. Just continuing to wrap it right around McGee.
This is incredible.
Now he's wrapped around the neck. Now look at the blood coming out of the mouth of Scott McGee. I don't know. The snake may have bit him, Jack.
He may have. I'll tell you, the tremendous throng, everyone on their feet here at the Joe Louis Arena.
The winner of the match, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Everybody in disbelief right now. They can't believe what they're seeing. Uh-oh. Keep it away. Keep it away, Roberts.
Yeah.
There he goes. Jake the Snake Roberts. Scott McGee is still in the ring right now. He's trying to. Let's pick up the finish, the exciting finish of this match.
Look at the speed of Roberts. Boom. He saw the opening and he went right for it.
Exactly. Driving his.
Well, he laid that DDT on him in a hurry, did he not?
It wasn't a neck breaker. That was his patented DDT.
No, that's for sure. You know, I cornered Jake the Snake not too long ago in the locker room, and I asked him, what does it mean, DDT? You know what his reply was?
What?
The end. Recently, here on Saturday night's main event, he had a little confrontation with one Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in which he applied that same DDT only on the concrete floor.
Well, Steamboat, that's using your head. That's what I always say about Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
And then his wife went to the back, I remember. She ran back to see how her husband was doing.
Why not?
Well, I imagine who else would care about him. But you could, the whole building in Providence, Rhode Island, you could smell that coconut or pineapple juice all over the floor.
Ricky the Dragon sustained a slight concussion. He's back just about to 100% with a lot of scores to settle with Jake the Snake. We haven't heard the last of that one. We'll be back right after this.
Oh,
Tremendous matchup coming right up now here on Primetime Wrestling. Hercules Hernandez, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. You know, if they added Ulysses and a couple other guys, Euripides and a few other guys, it could be a real Greek mythology here. You know anything about Greek mythology?
No, I don't like them restaurants. I'll tell you what I like, though. My most important thing I like to watch Hercules Hernandez because he's managed by classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah, the guy who steals everyone's money. Let's go down to ringside at the Joe Louis Arena right now for this tremendous matchup in progress.
As time as he can to regroup, get some of the kinks, some of the pain out of that lower back area. Hercules suddenly seems a bit more cautious to hook up with Tony, Mr. USA Atlas, than he was early on in the match, Jack.
Tony likes the flex, likes the move. The crowd appreciating it. Very dedicated young man is Tony Atlas.
You called it earlier, Hercules Hernandez not calling for a test of strength, and right in the center of the ring.
Here we go, test of strength.
So far, Hercules Hernandez with the leverage, coming out on top, but don't count Mr. USA out. Look at him flex and listen to this crowd roar.
The big boot to the chest area. And Tony giving him everything he had. Hernandez right now. Another test of strength.
Crowd beginning to chant, Tony, Tony, urging Mr. USA on.
Tony coming up now. Now the test of strength in his favor.
We take you right inside the ring and look at Tony Atlas.
Tony picking him up, atomic drop. Big right hand. Hernandez down. Now Hernandez coming back. Oh! With one of his own.
And doing severe damage, Tony Atlas, the recipient of that forward atomic drop. Right about now, Tony Atlas feels his stomach is up in his chest area.
Hernandez with a big boot, another boot. Tony Atlas hurting right now. The crowd sensing it.
Haymaker out of right field. Second one drops Tony Atlas right to the mat.
Hard right hand to the side of the jaw. Hernandez drops the leg and elbow combination. Look at that. Wow.
That's the upper body strength of Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony picked him right up and moved him aside. Tony is reeling right now. He's hurting as Hernandez continues the assault. And some hard right hands. There's another hard right hand by Hernandez.
But look at Tony try and dig down deep. Call on that tremendous strength of his.
Caught him that time. Back of the neck. There's a choke. Raking the eyes as well. Referee Cashman warning Hernandez.
Now,
some of these
interestingly,
tactics.
right there, Jack. Headbutt off the ropes by Mr. USA. Hernandez, instead of going right after Atlas when he had him down, obviously in trouble, elected to, for whatever reason, to wait, talk to the referee, say something to the crowd, and gave Atlas that needed second or two to regain the momentum.
Now it's Tony pounding away. Look at that, a double shot. Another tremendous hook butt, hip butt. Tony coming up now. Big suplex. Now Hernandez feeling the effects of one Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Oh, Tony tried for the drop kick that time, and Hernandez able to pull back.
Tony may have telegraphed it just a fraction of a second too early. Hernandez turned, saw it, and was just able to catch that top rope and hold on. Tony, meaning nothing, up in the air, came down hard on his back, was expecting to make contact and not ready to land the way he did. But now look at the strength. Hernandez goes into the backbreaker.
Tony Atlas hanging onto the top ring rope. And Hernandez was not able to get complete control of that tremendous backbreaker. He had him up on top, though.
Had him up, but he could not quite get enough leverage. Couldn't get him centered on his shoulders. Tony Atlas, you said, held onto the ropes and may have prolonged this match.
This has been a very grueling match. Look at this.
Sunset
flip takedown. 2. Did he get the 3 count?
We'll have to wait for it. Evidently,
he got the 3 count. He did get the 3 count.
It even caught our bell ringer ringside by surprise.
The winner, Tony, Mr. USA, Atlas.
It happened so fast, the crowd, I'll tell you, unbelievable.
Jack, you and I are sitting right here at ringside, and we were not even certain if he had scored the 3 count, but a great win for Tony Atlas.
What a tremendous victory by Tony Atlas.
And you talked about it earlier. This will certainly move Mr. USA up the rankings of the World Wrestling Federation. But the competition just gets tougher and tougher each and every rung you climb.
Hercules Hernandez still can't believe what happened. He can't believe it. I'll tell you, that was a grueling match, Ken. Not only was it physical, but from the standpoint that both men who possess a lot of strength. Let's pick up the action once again. Here's the replay.
Just slid right down his back, was able to hook the arms, was able to get the legs across the shoulders, scored the count of 3. Tremendous move. We talked about it earlier. In the World Wrestling Federation, you have got to be thinking 3, 4, and 5 moves ahead.
Your dear friend, the fashion plate, Freddie Blassie, has to be bent out of shape about that, Bobby.
He was kicking out at the count of 3. Just before his hand hit 3, he was bridging
It was a
and
little
kicking out.
ambiguous, the count. I'll have to agree with you.
Fine.
Here's one thing I can't agree with you on. I have in front of me here the latest edition of the World Wrestling Federation magazine. You always expounding to me about being the premier manager here in the World Wrestling Federation. Look who's got the feature story. The mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. What's the story about?
Well, I'm not going to knock anybody. You're not going to cause trouble between me and Jimmy Hart. Now, the reason he's in that
Where's
magazine...
your story?
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you about this. I have a surprise for everybody.
Great.
See, Jimmy Hart manages Hoss Funk,
Jimmy
Terry
Jack,
Funk,
Terry,
Jimmy Jack, Terry,
right,
Hart, Neidhart, Adorable Adrian. He has 6 men. They're devoting a lot of time. I'm going to do a centerfold next month.
It's feature time this week on Primetime Wrestling. Tremendous. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just searching for something. Go ahead.
Tremendous tag team combination here. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik against a team rapidly rising here in the World Wrestling Federation. The Killer
I'm not in this
Bees.
thing anyplace.
Well, I told you you weren't in there.
I gotta be in here.
I told you that the Mouth of the South got the feature.
No, I gotta be in here.
Let's go now to the Joe Louis Arena. Tremendous tag team competition.
There.
No, you're not there. Let's
Wait
go
a
to
minute. Wait a
ringside.
minute.
This match, one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Introducing first of all, from Tehran, Iran, weighing 258 pounds, the Iron Sheik. His partner, at a weight of 313 pounds, from Moscow, Russia, Nikolai Volkov.
talk about excitement. Oh, you're going to see it with this tag team combination right here.
This one should be an absolute classic.
Big win. Whoever wins this match, it will be a big win for either team. And a shot at the title.
Would certainly be in line for a title shot against the British Bulldogs. Dynamite Kid. There you see the cast. We alluded to it earlier, Jack Reynolds. The broken hand of Jumping Jim Brunzell. He's got it wrapped. But it's got to throw off his timing. He likes to fly through the air, the flying drop kicks, the head scissors. And he's got to be a little worried about that. It has to throw off his timing, his maneuvering. Be Brian Blair and the Iron Sheik starting it off.
Already the Iron Sheik having words with the tremendous throng in attendance.
Right there, I don't know if the camera picked it up. The Iron Sheik trying to spit at the American flag. Jim Brunzell going over, taking exception to that maneuver.
All right, momentarily, the action getting underway. B. Brian Blair and the Iron Sheik, who at one time was the former World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
Iron Sheik won a few men to be both former heavyweight champions and also former tag team champion with his partner Nikolai Volkov.
Already the crowd starting to taunt the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. There's a tag. No tag. The Sheik's still in there.
Two men have yet to hook up.
Reverse waist lock, and down to the mat goes B. Brian Blair.
Quick sit out, up to his feet.
At one time, not only was B. Brian Blair all scholastic down in Florida, but the Iron Sheik, also from his native Tehran, Iran, was also a great Olympian star. Beautiful takeover and a leg scissors by B. Brian Blair.
Now we're seeing something, Jack Reynolds, you brought up a very good point. Both, of course, we know that. We expect it from B. Brian Blair and Jumping Jim Brunzell, but the Iron Sheik, very, very well schooled in amateur wrestling, an excellent wrestling tactician.
Try for a punch by the Iron Sheik and a block by B. Brian Blair. Side headlock being applied right now.
B. Brian delivers a little greeting to Nikolai Volkov outside the ring.
Our camera's able to pick it up as B. Brian Blair caught Nikolai Volkov with a right hand to the side of the jaw.
Tag, our first look tonight at Jumping Jim Brunzell. Jim Brunzell says, look what I found. Little merry-go-round action. Up an atomic drop. B. Brian Blair gets in the act.
Front face lock being applied right now by Jumping Jim Brunzell.
Now, even there, Jack, you'd have to question just how much of a close grip Jim Brunzell can take with that broken hand. How much pressure it'll absorb.
Exactly. It's got to hamper him somewhat, but Jimmy, the great competitor that he is, he'll go at it.
Oh, look at this. Now that's the Iron Sheik going to deliver the boot to Jim Brunzell. Miscaught his partner, Nikolai Volkov, in the shoulder.
That's something you don't see too often. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov messing up on their timing, because both work so very well together as a tag team combination.
Of course, at that point, with a little help from Jim Brunzell.
Side headlock by B. Brian Blair. So far, the action hot and heavy and fast moving in that ring.
Again, the tag. Jumping Jim Brunzell comes in. They double team off the ropes. And a double elbow.
Caught him good, too.
Couple knees to the hamstring.
Now it's Jumping Jim Brunzell. Look at that, applying the pressure as he works. Oh, beautiful takeover as he applied the pressure to that left leg of the Iron Sheik, going back to work on the left leg. There's a tag. Here comes B. Brian Blair, double teaming right now. Eagle. Oh, look at that. And he drops the elbow as well. Hooks the leg. But the referee is busy with Volkov.
Jack, perhaps a strategy of the Killer Bees becoming very apparent. Rapid fire, quick tags, trying to keep a fresh man in the ring. They have tagged off 8, 9 times. As yet, Nikolai Volkov is yet to be inside the ring.
Step over toe hold and a takedown.
Perhaps that's a strategy.
That's
keep
it.
a fresh man in. That'll negate the difference in size and strength that they're giving up. Trying to use a speed to the best of their advantage.
And
so far, worked to perfection.
And the one thing they're trying to do, they're going to try to keep the Iron Sheik close to their corner so they can tag out at any time. Keep them away from Volkov. All right, the Iron Sheik pulling out the hair right now. There's a tag. Here comes Nikolai Volkov, the big Russian. Volkov pounding away right now. Look at that, try for a sunset flip. He's got him.
Referee is busy. The Iron Sheik keeping him distracted. So far, you could have counted to about 8 on Nikolai Volkov, but that's the part of, again, all a part of that tremendous teamwork the Sheik and Nikolai Volkov have.
Oh, they work so very well together. They've been doing it for quite some time now. And it seems to pay off for them. I don't know if our cameras can pick up. There's a gentleman seated close to ringside. He has an American flag and he keeps waving it very patriotically.
Now he's up on his feet.
There he is. I'll tell you, look at that. Bear hug being applied right now by Nikolai Volkov on jumping Jim Brunzell.
Now with the size and strength of Volkov, this is a true submission hold. He could easily crack some ribs. Brunzell
with the upper hand right now, Nikolai Volkov, but up to that point, the Killer Bees certainly giving the former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions everything they wanted and more. Well, we're back, and it's time to figure out whether Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik, who have looked very lethargic, can pull this one out. It's a very important stone for them to step if they expect to get a chance to get the title back in their own field. Let's go back to Joe Louis Arena.
Trying to break the hold.
Hard right hand to the side of the jaw. Jimmy Hart goes underneath. Now it's B. Brian Blair in there.
You can't go over him, go under him. B. Brian Blair, 2-on-1 and getting the best of it.
What was the Sheik doing in there? He was coming to the aid of Nikolai Volkov. Volkov swinging wildly. A top. Volkov's leg hooked over the ring rope. He was able to hook that leg over the ring rope.
So far, Jack Reynolds, Killer Bees having the best of this one. Oh, now right there outside the ring, that's the teamwork you talked about. The Iron Sheik referee didn't see it. Quick knee to the back of B. Brian Blair. But oh! Blair trying for a body slam and couldn't pick him up. And it almost cost the Killer Bees the match.
That's right. He was able to kick out, luckily, for the Killer Bees. Here comes the Iron Sheik with those dreaded boots. Now it's the Sheik in there. Clothesline. And down goes B. Brian Blair. Look at that.
Wow.
That's uncalled for.
That is just...
That is totally uncalled for.
No place for that. Just trying to degrade his opponent. But perhaps there again, psychologically hoping to get B. Brian Blair so angry that he forgets everything else, all he's taught, and just goes wild, may make a mistake. Up, hard back body drop.
Big backdrop in there by the Iranian Sheik.
Now there, a little assist from that man at ringside as the Iron Sheik saw it and went over to talk to him. Take exception with the waving of the flag.
Look at this, tremendous suplex. Side suplex being applied by the Iron Sheik. And I'll tell you, B. Brian Blair, there he goes for the camel clutch. He's got the camel clutch on B. Brian Blair right now.
Now the question, how long can B. Brian Blair absorb this tremendous amount of pain? Can he endure it?
Usually this is a submission hold.
Jim Brunzell sneaking in from behind. Elbow to the back of the head. We should caution the style of Brunzell. It was not the cast, Jack Reynolds, just using the elbow pad.
He had to do it. He had to do it, otherwise I think it was all over.
B. Brian Blair now. The Iron Sheik going for the abdominal stretch, the camel stretch.
He's using all of his moves right now. One of the masters of the abdominal stretch, the Iron Sheik applying it right now. Look at that. Beautiful takeover by B. Brian Blair, and he misses with the elbow. He grazed him.
The Iron Sheik had been bouncing up and down. B. Brian Blair sensed he got just a little high on his body, was able to get his hip underneath and take him over the hip toss.
Once again, pulling the trunks, trying to get him up there. Look at that, a reverse. Back suplex by B. Brian Blair as the Sheik was trying. He was going for the suplex. There's a tag. Jumping Jim Brunzell in there right now. Look at that, both Volkov and the Sheik.
Jim Brunzell in
big backdrop. Cast and all. Jumping Jim, going wild in that ring right now. Oh, and he clotheslined him. Try for a press. 1, 2. And the Iron Sheik able to break the press. Drop kick. 2 and Volkov in there right now. All 4 men in the ring. B. Brian Blair. And Volkov is out. He caught a right hand to the jaw and he's out. Now they're going to go to work on the Iron Sheik. He's got him in the sleeper.
We haven't seen much of this from Jim Brunzell, but he's got the Iron Sheik right in the center of the ring.
Jimmy pretty good with that sleeper hold. It's a submission hold.
But again here with that cast wrapped around, I don't know if he can get the arm totally underneath and totally cut off the carotid artery.
Volkov trying to get in there.
Referee distracted. Now watch
Volkov. Look at that. Oh! He caught him. Caught him on the back of the head with a double chomp. It's all over. It's all over. Nikolai Volkov coming to the rescue of the Iron Sheik. Volkov with a double chomp to the back of the head.
A bitter, bitter defeat for the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair and Jim Brunzell. But like them or not, again, Jack Reynolds, Nikolai Volkov, and the Iron Sheik proving why they are the former World Wrestling Federation
Ladies and
Tag
gentlemen,
Champions.
your winners, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
If you missed it, here's the end of the match. Clearly, Volkov coming off the second rope. You can see the referee is back to the action. Now he turns around, finds the Iron Sheik covering Jim Brunzell. The count of 2. The count of 3, and Jack.
Well, the Killer Bees certainly don't have to feel bad about that, Bobby. That was a real Pearl Harbor job.
No. They
miscarriage of justice.
The Bees just got put away with the big Russian fly swatter, Nikolai Volkov.
I call it cheating.
I don't care.
You know, I beg to differ with you. I had a chance to look at this latest magazine here from the World Wrestling. You are in here.
I'm
You're
not
right
in there.
Here. Yes.
I've looked all through it. I'm not in that magazine.
I found you. You're right here in the magazine in a position that you're usually in, like a weasel caught inside the chicken coop.
That's
by the world's
not me.
heavyweight
That's
champion.
Freddie Blassie.
What do you mean that's not you?
That's not me. There's no picture of my face there. That is Freddie Blassie.
Well, just hold on
I'm
1 second. Bear with me for 1 second. Take a look at the kisser on that and tell me that that is not you. Champion.
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Let me see that.
You're there. You're there, Bobby. In all your glory.
No, that's not me.
Well, wrestling fans, that wraps up another week here on Primetime Wrestling. Time goes by so quickly, Bobby, when you have such fantastic matches.
And good guest.
Well, that helps, yes, it certainly does. The only part of the program that I really didn't like and really wasn't too thrilled about was Fuji Vice.
That was my favorite part of the program.
That's obvious, yes.
I could sit back and watch it all night. Get some nice popcorn, maybe a nice lemonade.
Yeah.
Put their feet up.
Next week, all our matches coming direct from what's becoming rapidly a mecca for professional wrestling, Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. And of course, we're going to have our classic feature from some 10 years ago, special midget match.
Well, I bet that's a short match.
No, it's not a short match, no. Just because there's little guys in there, it's definitely not a short match. Don't forget, wrestling fans, every Wednesday, TNT's new time slot, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and of course on Sundays, All-American with Mean Gene Okerlund. That's on at noon Eastern and 1 o'clock Central Time.
And I also have good news for you.
Go ahead, lay it
and
on me.
everybody out there.
Go ahead, give it to us.
Next week, I'll be back right here to
Due
make
to
sure
a-
you do what you do right.
Due to a diminishing number of requests, Bobby the Brain or Weasel, as you'd like to have it, pick your choice.
How would
We'll
you
join
like to
us
have
again next week here on Primetime Wrestling. Until then, Gorilla Monsoon for the Brain, saying so long until next
Fuji
week.
Vice for me again. I like to see a little more of that.